Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining today's webinar. My name is Agnes. I'm a product marketing manager from SentiOne. And today I will happily share with you 10 reasons why marketing agencies should use social listening. Now, let's have a look actually who would benefit the most from today's session. So I believe this webinar is dedicated to majority of teams working in different types of marketing, digital, integrated, interactive, or creative agencies. If you work with clients on a day-to-day basis, you would benefit from this session. If you work in a strategy department and you need to really shape the strategy in the future and really be up to date with current trends and what's happening on the market, you would benefit from this session too. If you work in the insights department, you would definitely need to use online monitoring tool. If you are in the account management team dealing with your clients on a day-to-day basis, I will show you how you can use online monitoring tools to actually make your work easier and how you can impress your clients even more. Anyone working in new business and pitching teams as well, I will show you how you can use social listening tools to actually make your slides even more actionable and even more insightful for your future pitches. Obviously, teams working on social media would benefit from this webinar as well. Same with SEO teams, paid media teams, content managers, owned media, and anyone from the front office teams as well. Now, saying this, anyone who is actually familiar with online monitoring tools or social listening tools, please stay at this webinar anyway, as I'm pretty sure I will show you some use cases or some reasons why you should use a social listening tool that you haven't heard before. Also, if you are new to the social listening world, welcome. Please get yourself a nice tea or coffee. And your task for today is to actually think about your clients and different industries. And as I'm going from 10 different reasons, or actually 10 different use cases of social listening, please think how you could utilize them to your different clients or industries. I'm sure you can find some use cases that would work for you on your day-to-day basis. As I said, because social listening is such a applicable to different teams, there will be 10 different use cases, and you might not find all of them useful, but overall the whole agency and different teams will find all of them extremely useful and would actually enhance their performance in a day-to-day. Now, our agenda for today. First of all, I will very briefly show you what's the online monitoring tool about and how you can use social listening. I will pinpoint few useful features. Then I'll actually focus on what can we monitor, as the number and types of sources that your social listening tool has is really important for your social listening strategy. Then we'll go into the first 5 use cases of social listening. Then we'll have a 10 seconds break. After that, we'll have the remaining 5 use cases. And the final use case will actually contain a bonus case study. So please stay till the end. Now, if you have any questions, please ask them on the chat on the right-hand side. I'm sure my team will answer them and will happily chat with you on the right-hand side. And without further ado, let's go into the social listening world. So, as I said, I'm from SentiOne, and we are an online monitoring platform powered by AI. AI allows us to monitor the internet globally using our own algorithm. We managed to collect different public mentions from different sources. It could be news, blogs, and different portals, websites, all the social media channels, all different forums, all different sites such as Quora, all different sources from the whole internet. I think right now we have over 35 million different sources. We've managed to gather all of them and then automatically analyze in order to pull different consumer insights for you. So as a result, in a few seconds, we can discover what customers think about a given brand, industry, product, or marketing campaign. Now, let's actually go and see how does it look like in the real examples. I have a short video for you, how you can actually listen to different feedback, product features, opinions, and thoughts of your customers. So you can monitor unlimited keywords from various sources in 26 different languages. We can show you different widgets of mentions in time, rich summary, and also the sentiment analysis. Everything is in real time. You can also get different alert notifications, and you can download reports on different subjects. I will show you all of those features later on in different use cases. But basically, any social media listening tool should allow you to have unlimited access to different mentions about your brand or competition. It should also provide you with audience insights from demo, geo-targeting, and also trends. You should also be able to get free reports, such as comparing different brands or maybe just analysis of one specific brand. You should also be able to analyze campaign on a granular level, looking at the reach, engagement, and the performance over time. Also, you should be able to be notified with different alerts and notifications about upcoming crises. And also we have AI sentiment analysis, which allows us to say which discussions or opinions are negative or positive or neutral. Now, that's about features. Let's go into the actual sources. So in social listening, any tool is only as good as the amount of mentions and sources it can track. So with SentiOne, you can actually track, as you can see here, Instagram, Google Places, or Google Reviews. So if you have a customer, such as any multi-chain shop, like let's say IKEA or Tesco, you would have different reviews in Google Places or Google Maps being reviewed every single day. So actually this tool will allow you to monitor all of these at once and really get the idea what the Tesco or IKEA customers are thinking about the brand. We can also track different blogs and portals and websites with the whole content and the comment section. We can also track YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, all different types of websites, Apple and Play Store. So app stores are very, very interesting nowadays, as allows us to track all different opinions and reviews of the apps. So if you're working with any app type of client, this might be a very useful feature for you. Also, we have all different forums. Forums are great to actually track the general consumer trends, what people really care about, what they share, what they're really concerned with. And also, we managed to track LinkedIn as well. So here's just a short summary. Now let's get to the meaty part of our webinar. So I will now show you the 10 reasons to use social listening. In my opinion, it's basically 10 different use cases that you might find useful for yourself and your day-to-day work. Number 1, so social listening tools will allow you to manage multiple clients at once. So if you are managing, let's say 5 to 10 or fewer more clients, you can create a separate project or folder for each of your clients. So then you can manage all of their online activity very easily. You can keep track of their social media profiles. You can also keep track of the marketing campaigns of the whole digital activity. You can also monitor the buzz around your clients, but also their competitors. You can pull customized reports, and you can also share dashboards. So you can make any analysis you want, showing any widgets of, let's say, mentions over time, sentiment share, reach, performance over time. And then you can easily share that dashboard with your client by just copy pasting the link, even if your client is not the user of the given social media tool. So that's extremely useful. And finally, you can have also real-time alerts, so you will never miss a spike in negative mentions to prevent any crisis. Now let's have a look how it looks in the real-life examples. This is my project from a SentiOne tool. So you can see I have a list of all my projects, and here are all projects that I'm currently working on, and I can easily just categorize them per different clients and go into the analysis or edit the project whenever I want. Now I have also the anomaly tab, which will show me whenever there are any negative spikes, as here for Vision Express, Sainsbury's, IKEA, or also show me the positive spikes in discussions such as for Urban Decay. Now with the Urban Decay example, I will go into this one later on, as obviously you can click and you can dig through and see exactly what was the reason of this positive spike in discussions. Number 2. Once you have analyzed and kind of categorized all of your clients, you can then analyze the performance of the marketing campaigns. So social listening tools are really great to measure the brand awareness part of your campaigns. You can measure the engagement rate, but also the reach on different media. So you can really share with our clients how the recent campaigns resonated with the audience. What was the reach on Twitter? What was the reach on Facebook, Instagram, and so on. You can also monitor how popular was this type of organic content or your recent ad. You can also check out the top hashtags, and that's extremely useful for running any competition or for measuring how how your influencer campaign performed recently. As I've mentioned, you can also monitor any spike in mentions. So how many people discussed your client's brand. And you can also always click through the spike and see exactly what were type of dimensions, were they positive or negative, what was the context of those discussions. And finally, you can also check the related keywords, so exactly what was the context of conversations about the brand or competition. Now, let's see examples. So here we have example of Skyscanner. We can see that from the end of June, we have a massive spike from the beginning of July about Skyscanner. I'm pretty sure that anyone dealing with Skyscanner would love to now click through and actually see what was the reason of the spike. Same here, we could have the engagement summary for different media. This is actually for Netflix, and we can see what was the different reach dividing by positive or negative for Netflix for this time period. You can also check out the top hashtags. Again, this was extremely useful either for your content strategy or for your future content, or to analyze the influencer campaign. Let's get to number 3. So you can categorize all your different clients. You can monitor their brands. Now you can also monitor the marketing campaigns, and you can do all the same with the competition as well. So you can also track the buzz around your client's competition. You can track the buzz around the recent campaigns, digital activity, how did their last ad, content, or product launch perform. What's extremely useful in digital world is to actually set up yourself competitive benchmarks for your different campaigns. So you can, let's say, have a benchmark for reach or for engagement rate. And finally, you can also use the word cloud to discover new keywords in your industry. So always to stay up to date with what's happening, or maybe to spot some new emerging trends. Now, with the competitive intelligence, I have here pulled a report from our comparative report. So I can select different brands from my projects and actually compare them against each other. So here I have pulled some top British brands, and I have just compared what was their reach. To be honest, usually you wouldn't really compare brands from different industries as I did here. So you would have Sainsbury's, Costa Coffee, Virgin Media, Urban Decay. Usually you would just pick the same industry, right? So as we can see here, Sainsbury's and Costa Coffee are actually leading in terms of the reach. Now we can also analyze the sentiment. So actually, who was resonating with which brand the most. So we can see one winner over here, which is Urban Decay again, that they have really generated a very, very positive spike in positive discussions. So later on, I will actually show you what was this positive mention about. So here's just an example of how you can really compare against your competitors. To be honest, it's just 2 different widgets. We have many more different examples and analysis that you could perform. Let's go to number 4. So we've managed to analyze our clients, their brands, we managed to analyze the marketing campaigns. We can also analyze the wider market. So you can, I find social listening as a type of free market research, right? So it's market research at your fingertips. Usually you would spend money on expensive focus groups. You would spend money on interviews or on mental reports. But actually with social listening, you would have this candid and filtered consumer opinions. You can really share, monitor what people said about lipsticks or about automotive industry in last year. So it's very often commonly used by research agencies to analyze online behavior and preferences. You can also use it to analyze mentions to spot any emerging trends and find new insights. Also, you can monitor either the whole industry or just some interesting topics, right? So we can be interested in the whole automotive industry or maybe just in the e-cars, right? So here's example, as I've mentioned before, we have the Urban Decay example. So I've managed to click through and actually see what was the whole positive discussion about. And we can see that actually the positive discussion about Urban Decay was about, well, word love. And people definitely loved their new eyeshadow palette from Naked. Now you can also see here different keywords that were related to all those positive discussions. And also you can see the percentage change from recent time. Now, as I've mentioned, we can measure the actual brand for market research, but also specific topics. So here I was actually looking for new keywords related to a trend called veganism, or vegan actually. So here the keyword was vegan, and you can see that the bigger the word and the more center it is, that means there were more keywords associated with that. So next to vegan, we can see definitely plant-based, cruelty-free cruelty-free, foodie food, healthy food as well. So you can really see different keywords over here, and also you can click through them and you can see all those specific mentions related to those keywords. Now, speaking to plant-based and cruelty-free, I have 10 seconds break for you as I need to drink my water whenever I'm speaking so much. So here's your 10 seconds break. Perfect. I hope you've enjoyed that and we've managed to reset your attention span as well. Now, we managed to get down to our list further on. So number 5, how online monitoring can help you to prepare for a pitch and land new clients. As I've mentioned at the beginning, the new business team will also find something useful for themselves here. And there we go. So whenever you're preparing for a pitch, wherever you are preparing to impress your prospective clients, it's very important to research the whole market, the whole industry, but also the client itself and the competition. So social listening can help you with all of these. Also, it can help you to really pull those interesting data, up-to-date information, and put that in your slides in the form of nice graphics and visualizations. So it's very easy to impress your clients, but also you can actually pull some new emerging trends or micro trends and show to your client how you would use that trend to actually focus your next marketing campaign around. So something new, something more innovative. And of course, always it's really nice to present yourself as an industry expert whenever you present to any prospective clients, or to any clients, to be honest. So here we can have a look of different types of reports that you could pull from a social listening tool. So you can either pull automatic report about brand awareness, just to have a very quick idea about how this specific brand of your prospective client is perceived. Or you could also use comparative report, where you can really select a few different brands and compare them against each other. So you can really see how your a prospective client looks against the whole competition at the whole market. And finally, we also have very new interesting report, which is called Brand and Product Perception AI Analysis. And that report will actually show you the actual emotions that are associated with a specific brand. So we can show you how many people are joyful or angry or disgusted about specific brand. Understand your clients' clients. So we've managed to monitor the whole industry, the whole market, our client, their competition, marketing campaigns. Now we can also understand their consumer behaviors. So by analyzing all dimensions and discussions, you can really see where and how your client's brands is discussed, right? You can also understand the context of those discussions. You really want to know what resonates with your audience. You really want to know what they care and what they share. Also, you can use online monitoring to actually create content and monitor whether it's engaging. So something for the content and social media people over here. And finally, you can always get some new stats about demographic and sentiment analysis for your campaigns and your reporting as well. So here you can see how it looks in the real life. As I said, usually I was choosing examples of different British brands, right? However, here I didn't really want to pick a specific brand because I didn't want to, hurt anybody's feeling or just show some negativity. That's why I chose another subject, which is extremely polarizing. So I chose keywords Boris Johnson. As a result, here we have the discussion broken down by emotions around Boris Johnson. As you can see, 57% of online opinions about Boris Johnson are associated with anger, 19% with sadness, 12% with disgust, and almost 12% with joy as well. We can also do the gender share in online monitoring tool. So you can see that people discussing Boris Johnson are in 78% male. And also top hashtags around Boris Johnson are shown here as well. So you can run this analysis for any topic or any client you want, just to always kind of stay up to date with what's happening on the internet around your client, your brand, or the competition. Number 7, this is extremely useful if you're running any international clients or any clients running on different markets, actually willing to export to different markets. So you can manage international campaigns with geomapping. So obviously, nowadays we know that consumers in different locations will have different preferences, will share different trends, different things will go viral in different markets. So actually, online monitoring tools will allow you to manage multinational accounts by analyzing different markets at the same time. Also, you can compare different markets and different brands against each other. So you may have the same brands, let's say P&G and Pampers, and you can actually compare how Pampers is performing or what is being shared and cared about Pampers in different markets. And finally, you can also set up different reports and alerts so you can share with your clients in numerous languages and locations. So here's just a quick example how we can use the geomapping. So if you have clients working on those different markets, Romanian, Czech, English, Swedish, French, German, Dutch, and so on, you can quickly pull mentions in time by language report, and you can see the different breakdown. Now you can also use the geolocation widget that will show you where was the biggest spike in discussions about your brand. Here I actually have used the term plastic packaging just to showcase this widget. Let's move on to number 8. I think analyzing trends is pretty obvious by now, but clearly social listening is a great tool to analyze trends and find new insights for the next campaign. I would say this is number 1 use case for marketing agencies, as it can really help you to create a strategy for your next campaign, create the new angle how to approach Q4, create the kind of new way of targeting maybe new target groups. Maybe you can find some new micro trend that you can focus your next campaign around. So really you can analyze conversations to know what your audience recommends, what your audience cares about, and also what your audience is sharing. It's very important to understand all of those different metrics. Also, you can center your next digital campaign around that trend or micro trend. You can also look for insights for new creative, for new content, or maybe for new ad. Also, whenever you are aware of any trends or maybe of new viral thing, video, comment, opinion, you can actually also examine the trend and identify where the trend is coming from. Is it from some specific YouTube video, or maybe it's a popular tweet happening 2 weeks ago? So honestly, online monitoring tool will help you really to be this market researcher and analyst at the very granular level. And here's an example. So this is not a new trend. However, I thought it would be very, very interesting to analyze. So this is a trend of home office or maybe work from home. So I have analyzed the keyword home office from the beginning of this year. And as you can see, it was fairly silent until late February, where we suddenly have a huge spike in discussions and shares and mentions. And actually it was high until May, and from May it's gradually dropping. Obviously it's going together with our actual behavior, but then it's actually also go a bit further and analyze what type of images were shared under the hashtag or just under the term home office. So you can see that actually sharing the picture of your coffee mug was extremely popular. I didn't know that, but maybe that's something for your content team to actually figure out how to approach your next campaign or your next post. Now you can also figure out where the trend is actually being popular, right? So you can look at different sources. As you can see here, home office was extremely popular on Instagram with 66% of mentions, and also the second place is for Twitter with 23% of mentions happening on that platform. And finally, using the keyword cloud, if we look at the home office, we have obviously home office, work from home, work, stay safe, but also home decor, interior design, which is very interesting. So if you're working with any client from, let's say, the furniture, decor, design, DIY store, it might be very interesting to tap into that trend and actually discover different mentions and conversations and actually plan your next campaign on your next content around home decor and home office. Now, we are going to number 9, and influencer marketing is not new, but yet still 67% of marketers consider finding relevant influencers the largest influencer marketing challenge. Now, this is great because online monitoring tool can solve it really, really easily. So by scanning all the discussions, all the opinions, you can easily spot the most active and influential users talking about your brand, competition, or the whole industry. Now, you may probably know or have already a list in your head of already bloggers or vloggers or popular influencers, but really online monitoring allows you to find the actual brand ambassadors of specific product or brand. Now, once you have that list, you can create a project for each of those brand ambassadors or potential influencers, and you can actually track their activity. So you can compare their reach, you can compare their discussions, you can compare their different sources, and based on this, you can actually make a decision which of those ambassadors will be the best to work with your specific client. Now, finally, when you already are working with them, you can easily monitor the results of your campaign. You can monitor the reach and the sentiment of your joint campaigns. I find it super easy, and I hope you'll find it easy as well. So don't be afraid of influencer marketing. It's still a thing, and it's still popular, and you can actually make it even more specific, targeted, and granular with online marketing. Here's just a quick example. So again, I was here looking for influencers for the vegan trend I was working on earlier on. So as we can see, if I'm looking for influencers for veganism, I'll be looking at Instagram at 56% of all the mentions, and the second one, Twitter. Now I have also the widget called Top Authors. And with Top Authors, I can see different brand ambassadors or different specialists in the vegan field, but also different influencers on Instagram, because you can also filter down whether you want your brand ambassador to be from Twitter or from Instagram. And yeah, we have here different collection of vegan influencers. And moving on to the last case study, last use case, we have the social media crisis detection. Now, social media crises happen every single day. Some people love them as they give them a reason to actually write a good content about. However, with social listening tool, you can easily pinpoint potential crisis happening. You can easily see this small spike in discussion that can actually lead to a huge viral marketing campaign that sometimes you may not want to happen because it's usually about negative emotions. Now, with social listening tool, you can be notified about any anomaly in mentions, in reach, in positive or negative sentiment as well. You can be you can receive automated alerts about spike in negative comments as well. And once you are so informed about all those different anomalies happen, you can actually share them with your client and be proactive and be helpful to your client and help them react before any harm and before any brand damage is actually happening. So now I will show you how you can actually help your client and how you can help them to prevent any crisis and actually spot it before it actually spirals out of control. Here's a small case study about EasyJet. It happened last year in August 2019. It started with a small tweet of a picture from a passenger on an EasyJet plane who shared a picture of another passenger sitting on a backless seat. Now, as we can see, internet loves that type of content, and it was shared and it went viral immediately. And we can see that very easily on our social media listening tool, as just over one day, overnight, from 5th of August to 6th of August, we've managed to get over 25,000 of different mentions. Now, if you are a content or social media manager, you would spot that even at this spike, as you'll be notified with different alerts and red flags saying, hey, something is happening, people are talking negative about your brand. Now, this is not the end of the story, because obviously once it's spiraled out of control, another brands will piggyback on your problems. So here we have ASOS actually sharing the picture of a new funky backless seat in a backless dress. So that's what happens on the internet. If you want to read the full case study of exactly what did or what did not EasyJet do, what they should do, and how to actually usually react with social listening tools, how to prevent crisis, you can just click through over here and you can read the whole story and read more examples. Guys, I think we've managed to get to the end of our list. We've managed to get to all 10 different use cases of social listening for marketing agencies. Thank you very much. Pop that champagne. I have now 10 of them for you listed on the screen. You can take your screenshots now. Actually, you don't have to, because we're going to share the slides with you and the recording with you later on. But yeah, I hope you find some useful use cases for your clients. I hope you found at least one interesting reason why you should start using social listening tool, you or your whole agency. If you have any, please write them down in the chat section of this webinar. And if there are no more questions, that was me, Agnes. I'm a product marketing manager for SentiOne. If you have any questions to me later on, if you have any doubt or any other concern, please email me, agnes@sentione.com. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you find it useful, and I hope I'll see you in the future webinars of SentiOne. Thank you. Bye-bye.